punching, work, walking, clocking, punching, work. It's sad to say this is how they want us to live our fucking lives. I must admit, I'm way too lit to work until I die.
What up, YouTube? Big G here, Penny Pinchers Transport. It's a nice sunny day after our last 3 or 4 days and rain that we've had here in Indy. It is Monday, about 1 o'clock. I'm at a Costco. It's supposed to say Costco. It doesn't say Costco on the building, but it's supposed to be a Costco pickup going to Virginia, to a Target DC. So anyway, I don't ever live load really too often, but it always seems like when I have to, it's usually to get out of Indy. A lot of times I can't find dropping hooks to leave, but every once in a while just to get out of here. If I'm late getting on my load board and all that. Sorry, I'm squinting. The sun's kind of killing my eyes. Yeah, so anyway, every once in a blue moon I'll have to live load. It doesn't happen very often to get out of Indy, but always trying to get back to the house. A lot of times I do, but throughout the week, not too much. I may do 1, maybe 2 drop-a hooks a week tops. There's been some weeks where I've had to do it a couple times, and those weeks never end up being that great because you lose a lot of time on it. Still pretty satisfied, with the way things are going. Truck's been doing real good and all that. I got one of these Lone Mountain trucks, so I've been lucky, I don't have that same warranty as the high dollar trucks that these cats are buying from the S&I finance, paying $1,000 a week and whatever. But anyway, today's video is just real quick. I want to talk about something completely different, something that I don't deal with too often. Used to when I pulled reefer for different companies. It's really big in the reefer business. A lot of people might not understand that if you're a newer driver, or you've always been flatbed or something like that, but it's basically the refrigeration. Whenever you deal with a lot of grocery stores, you get stuck using lumper services, and that's what my video is about, lumper services and the crookedness of it. Kind of makes me wish I was in a different business sometimes. So luckily, on lumper services as an owner-operator with Schneider, they do pay the lumper fee. But, if we's out here on our own, then we would have to pay the fee. And basically what it is, you got these big old chain grocery stores, like Kroger's and Cubs and all these other ones, Giant Eagle, just Piggly Wiggly, all of them. Just all the Lion, just all these big grocery store chains. All these is another one. You're hauling a load from a manufacturer that made the product and packaged it and everything, but you got to take it to this grocery store DC somewhere, and you check in, and then they send you over to another building or a trailer. It's on the same parking lot, and they have a service offloading trucks. See, it's their grocery store business, it's their warehouse and all that, but they don't hire the people to unload their trucks. So they hire a lumper service, which is a guy that comes in there, it basically probably rents or buys a forklift and hires the guys to offload them. So what they do is they charge the company that brings in the load the cost of the unload. And it all depends on how many times they need to break down each pallet and how they need to split it up and how it needs to be put up in the racks in their warehouse. So, like, I've only had 1 lumper load since I've been running for Schneider since June, because I try to avoid those loads. I don't mess with them. I did go to a Dollar General in Marion, Indiana, and I got offloaded, but there was no lumper fee, which I was shocked because there was a guy in front of me that had to pay $506 to have his truck unloaded. And to me, that is insane, man. I mean, that is insane. And he wasn't an owner-operator, so I don't know if he had to pay the bill. But they used to let drivers go back there and offload the stuff themselves. You know, in a couple, 2-3 hours, you save you $150, $250. Or if the carrier would pay you the money to offload the truck, versus a lumper service, you just put an extra money in your pocket. But now a lot of these warehouses has got it where, due to insurance reasons, you can't be out there. And they're not going to let you use not even a power jack or a forklift. You've got to use a hand pallet and you got to break them down. They'll bring you empty pallets to break it all down. But it's almost like an inconvenience to them to do that for you. It kind of sucks. But that's just something I wanted to talk about, lumpers, you know. You go to these places with the load for this grocery store, something that they're purchasing that they can resell in their store, but they want to charge to unload your truck. It's one of the crookedest things that I've always thought was the way it was in trucking, and it's lumper services. And that's basically all I really got to say about it. If you're new into this or something, you're going to deal with it unless you're flatbed or something else. But lumper services, it's just another way to take a trucker's money. Now, obviously, if you work company or you're leased onto a company that says that they pay for those fees, that's good. Because also, I pay a lot of tolls from some of the routes I run because I do have Easy Pass, and everything that Easy Pass covers, Schneider recovers, so I don't have to pay any of that. I haven't had to really pay any of that, but I just recently had a settlement where I've seen there was some back charging on some Easy Pass stuff, so I have to question that. That's the first time I've ever seen that. But most of the time, these states that just can't get with the program, like Oklahoma, parts of Texas, Kansas, they got their own toll road deals. You got to buy their Pike Pass or Kansas K Pass or whatever. And then like everybody else, like the whole Midwest and the East Coast is all on Easy Pass. So, everybody's like one group, and they know by what states these things scan, they know who's charging you, for your Easy Pass or whatever. But it's just other states that just have their own pass. And of course, if you got all of them, you'd have a whole bunch of these window units in your truck. It look crazy, but it may make it easier if you travel through a certain state quite often. So that's it. But lumpers, man. Lumpers is the whole conversation I wanted to have. Is, it's just crazy, It's like you can go out here and find these big warehouses that are building, Giant Eagle or somebody. Say, hey, man, you guys are building a warehouse. I own my own lumper service, and you can rent a trailer, or they might have an office for you to set up, and then you can hire 20 guys and pay them $15 an hour to offload trucks and break down the pallets. And you're charging these drivers $150, $250, $300, $400. $506 is the highest I've ever seen. I couldn't believe that, and that was at a Dollar General. I can't imagine how much they're breaking that down at $506 for a load of whatever that guy was bringing in. But that is the highest lumper fee I ever seen. But I don't mess with lumper fees. And the last one that I paid was $111, probably back in August. And that's the only one that I've ever had. So I don't do lumper loads. I don't try to. I don't try to. I do a lot of dropping hooks, and I think sometimes that avoids it. Maybe Schneider has already worked out something with some of these people, but I don't like it. I think it's a crooked system, man. I mean, it's always someone else trying to reach into your pocket, like we're not paying enough money for fuel and everything else out here. But that's it, man. Big G. So it's almost springtime. I was getting pounded with the rain last week. Seems like I'm throwing wipers on this thing every 3 weeks, and I buy a little bit more expensive, but when you run them like we do, 11, 12 hours a day, non-stop, hard rain, man, you wear out wipers quick. It's not like your vehicle at home where you might take it on a 10-minute drive to work or to a restaurant and then back home, and that's it. And you might only do that twice a week. Like us, we run them consistently. I almost have to keep me about 3 or 4 backup wipers in the... Heck, a lot of times I'll even have one fly off, and that sucks because you gotta stop it real quick and pop another one on. I always will hold on to an old one if I don't have backup new ones, just in case, so you don't scratch your glass. And I've had to put even electrical tape around where the wiper connects to the arm, just to prevent from glass scratching, because that's annoying. But anyway, I'm doing a live load on my Monday. Plus I gotta do an update on my fingerprinting and hazmat and all that and renew my license within the next 10 days. So I'll be bringing in a short week so I can get that all wiped out and taken care of. But yeah, so anyway, that was my only thing. I was just thinking about the whole lumper thing, and like I said, there's a lot of new drivers in the industry, and there's a lot of guys that may think about going to refrigeration or something, and that's just something that you'll have to deal with. And if you're not an owner-op, it's not really your pockets, but it's still time consuming. You gotta call and get a number from dispatch to cover the amount, and then they won't start unloading you until they get their money. And at certain hours at night might be more challenging depending on how good your company is about answering their phones. But lumpers, man, it's the crookedness of the trucking system, and it's BS. And would it be a good business to run? Yeah. I mean, they're making a killing. And it kills me that these people are ordering this product, but they don't want nothing to do with putting it in their warehouses unless they hire someone else. So if they did have their own employees, they would just cough up the money. I don't understand why they wouldn't just charge the truck. I guess they can't because it's their product. I don't know. It's really weird system. I don't get it. But that's what today's is about. I haven't put out a lot of videos, man. I've just been real busy, and I just haven't had a whole lot to talk about. I watch a lot of YouTube videos, and there's so much information out there, I don't feel like I need to repeat a lot of information. So if there's anything you're interested in knowing about, I know quite a few things. I did some flatbedding, bulk tanker. I did all that, I've been out here almost 18 years here in a month or so. So anyway, but I like watching a lot of these videos, and some of the younger guys, when you watch their experience, how they're so shocked and surprised about some of the stuff. But that's what made me think about this, because there's sometimes they don't witness it till they have to deal with it. They could have been pulling van, but they could have been on a dedicated account and never dealt with a lumper service. So that's basically it. Big G, I'm out of here, man. Have a good Monday. We're getting close to 60 degrees and sunny today in Indy, and I'm hoping to dodge the rain the rest of this week. So we'll see what happens. I'm out.